Why did people in Britain not vote Conservative? Because they felt worse off after 14 years of Conservative government. I think our best chance of winning would have been to have kept Boris. I think it was a very stupid move of some of my colleagues to undermine Boris, and they still haven't admitted that. And that's another bit of the analysis that needs to be done. That I believe is affecting people in Britain.
Yes.
And why this country feels like it's in decline.
Right.
I mean, I just think these so-called left-wing comedians just aren't funny. You know, they are in power at the moment. You know, their people are in power. The left-wing orthodoxy is in power.
Yes.
So their jokes aren't funny.
Right.
Because they're not taking the mick out of the people who actually need their egos punctured.
Apparently, a lot of people didn't vote Conservative last election because they were so angry about Liz Truss. But in the Conservative Party, she's all the rage. Just look at these queues of people waiting to go in and hear her speak. I have clipped together some of her best bits from this speech, which includes her bemoaning the fact that we didn't get a trade deal with Donald Trump because we were frightened of the PR. Actually, we were frightened of a race to the bottom in terms of food standards, public health standards and environmental standards, and the decimation of our British farming and food security.
And on the subject of the Office of Budget Responsibility, which I believe is a key problem, that Conservatives won't succeed until we get rid of the Office of Budget Responsibility.
With Rob Jenrick that the Star of David should be hung at entry points to the UK?
I'd be absolutely happy with that, yes.
You'd be happy with that?
That I believe is affecting people in Britain.
Yes.
And why this country feels like it's in decline.
Yeah, OK. Some of the candidates have said some very interesting things in the last few days, and I just want to run a couple of them by you. Do you agree with Kemi Badenoch saying that it's axiomatic that not all cultures are equal?
Yes, I do, actually.
OK. And what do you think she meant by that?
Well, I think she meant that, you know, this country is based on Judeo-Christian values, and that is what should prevail. I think our best chance of winning would have been to have kept Boris. I think it was a very stupid move of some of my colleagues to undermine Boris, and they still haven't admitted that. And that's another bit of the analysis that needs to be done. And when people voted for Brexit in 2016, and when they voted Conservative in 2019, they voted against the establishment. They voted for change. And that is what we fundamentally didn't deliver. So I think the new divide in British politics is between the establishment and people who want things to really change about our country. And they don't just want a change of the political figures in number 10 in the cabinet. They want a change in, you know, the senior figures in the bureaucracy who have presided over our country's decline. That is the change they want to see. If people want to vote for the establishment, they have Rachel Reeves, a former Bank of England employee, of which Theresa May is also, of course, a former Bank of England employee. They have Keir Starmer, a former Chief of Prosecutions and Human Rights Law. Those are the establishment. If people want to vote for the establishment, they're there already.
Yeah. I mean, you've got to tell us something that can cheer us up, because much of what you're saying is quite depressing.
Donald Trump might win.
Donald Trump might win, OK.
There we are.
That would really cheer you up. Why do you think? Why would that cheer you?
Yes, it would really cheer me up.
Why would that cheer you up?
If you look at the world over this is what my book 10 Years to Save the West is about. The left have been winning the argument. Mainly because the right haven't been making the argument or haven't been following through on the courage of their convictions. And Trump winning in America will be a sign that the tide is turning. Because at present we have Keir Starmer in London, we've got socialists in Australia, Canada, America, France, Germany. We need to start turning the tide the other way, and this will be the first domino.
But a lot
It'll be the first domino. And Trump is anti-establishment.
Yes.
You know, the Davos World Economic Forum elite do not like Donald Trump, and I take that as a good sign.
Well, but I mean, neither do the courts or the police or... I mean, this is the problem, isn't it? That there are a lot of people in this country, and a lot of conservative voters in this country, who don't like Donald Trump, and who sometimes hear people on the right, including myself, I quite like Donald Trump, they hear people like us expressing some sympathy, and they think we're weird. Is there a risk that we're hitching our wagon to the wrong star, or is it the other way around? Our wagon to the wrong star here?
Well, I just say, look at what Trump did in office. His foreign policy was much better. You know, he held Iran to account. He took action on Ukraine and Russia in a way that Obama hadn't.
Yes.
He was much tougher on China. But domestically, he did all the things that unleashed the American economy. Supply side reforms, regulatory reforms, tax cuts, fracking, building oil pipelines, and he made the American economy successful. Yeah, and that is what Biden has been riding off, despite some of his poorer economic policies. So
he's also a protectionist, and you don't like that, do you?
I would say he's a deal maker.
The deal maker.
Trump made deals with the likes of Japan. You know, we could have done a deal with Trump. We could have done a trade deal with Trump. It was our reticence that stopped that from happening, our fear of bad PR that stopped that from happening. But Trump would have done a deal with the United Kingdom, and I hope we'll do a deal with the United Kingdom.
This September has seen record rainfall, particularly here in Wiltshire, and it's looking pretty bleak for this autumn and winter going ahead. So this water right in front of me is the Thames. The water behind is the flooding. Yeah, believe it or not, that is the River Thames, which looks like a lake. And it spent most of last autumn and winter and early spring